Well, hello people, welcome to the next senpai. When the protagonist is transferred to another world with very overpowered characters, which can be obtained instantly or have gone through a grueling struggle, for some reason, they hide their strength and pretend to be weak characters. Remember to share this video with your loved ones interested in anime and subscribe to help this channel grow up, again and again. Keeping watching this video and stay awesome. Let's go! Demon Spirit Seed Manual. Yuan Ding, a teenager who is very enthusiastic about the world of otaku, is suddenly transferred to a fantasy world without any apparent purpose. At first, he thought we're born in the Isekai world, were to be rugged adventurers and surrounded by many beautiful girls. But all his thoughts were lost because he had no talent with magic power and failed the entrance exam at the Shoei Academy. Unable to return to the original world and having nowhere to go, he decided to become a gardener to survive on the Doya continent. There he began to get information about the fairy seed, which he accidentally activated and obtained the power of a demon spirit after nearly dying. Yuan Ding had increased his magic power, so in the same way, his wood elemental power grew drastically. When a fairy's faith in her employer reaches a maximum point where they might unite to form a more powerful entity, this is called fairy fusion. He can merge with more than one fairy simultaneously, with epic transformation and making him extremely powerful. Battle game in 5 seconds. Akira Shiroyanagi, quite a boy obsessed with a game, is suddenly trapped in an imaginary world of the supernatural abilities of Mion, as well as the game master in that world. Akira and the other participants must fight according to predetermined rules, each of which has a unique special ability for battle. Their existence status is eliminated and is considered dead in their home world. Sophist, it is the ability of Akira. Whatever other people believe about Akira's illusion skill, it immediately manifests, delivering his advantages. Akira hides his true abilities, so other participants don't realize his weaknesses. His power also requires proper preparation with psychological and mind strategy games that require wise calculations. As it turns out, Akira indeed played the game, attempting to win with his newfound abilities and destroy the organization, falling under revenge on the game master. Cautious hero, the hero is overpowered but overly cautious. Ryuben Seiya is the main protagonist who was taken to the unified divine realm by the goddess of healing, Risktarte. They have a mission to save Gaia Brandy from a demon lord. This complicated level in S-Class appears extremely dangerous. Seiya is a hero with a high level of cautiousness and requires extra careful preparation when fighting his enemies. His practice has always irritated his team who accompanied him on their adventures. However, from the start, Seiya had above-average fighting abilities, he had high physical combat power and was adept at performing magic attacks. It even can fake out skills, which can hide its true capabilities, as a form of extreme cautiousness when fighting with enemies. He constantly analyzes the enemy's strength based on the status data and refuses to fight any opposition he is not confident that he will defeat. He would train for levels for days on end and was nearly unstoppable in his efforts. When the couple eventually sets foot on Ravage Land, circumstances may show that the past well warranted this hero's caution he didn't want to repeat. War God System, I'm counting on you. Antline appears to have been abandoned by a great practitioner on Modern Night Downtown, who gives him a set of God of War systems and sends him to the supernatural world to practice. He was admitted explicitly to the United University of Cultivation after arriving with a True God's letter of reference. Without clear rules to help guide him and experienced challenges due to his upbringing, as when he had nurtured him on Earth with no prior understanding of cultivation. As a result, he was abused by all his classmates and humiliated as the strongest relationship household. He expanded his powers many times over in a short time, much to the surprise of others at the school, after understanding the miraculous power of the War God system. To eliminate his reputation, Antline starts a new adventure to discover a new spiritual world of legends, makes new friends, receives legendary weapons and equipment, and sets on his journey to become a fake mighty cultivator. Reincarnated as a sword. This is only one of many mainstream isekai story. The main character tends to reincarnated as a mighty warrior or a great magician, but in this one, he is reborn as a sentient sword. In the cruel situation of Fran, a distressed girl who's fleeing evil kidnappers want to sell her into slavery, and she simultaneously takes up that sword after being trapped in the ground in a long time. React quickly and efficiently to changing situations, the sword who called Master transfers all of his abilities to her, morphing her into a formidable warrior. Fran was the only one who managed to hear Master's calls, and hiding his ability as one of the strongest intelligence weapons. He is very protective of her and wants to help her accomplish from wrong person who might use it to spot our weakness. Together with Master, Fran spends a few days slaying monsters and escape from his life's pretenses about a cat race that can't evolve. The two misfits between two unofficial master-student duos set out on an epic quest as an adventurer to free the oppressed and exact justice to punish the wicked. Black Summoner. Kelvin is a young man whose obsession with fighting so much for his entire life, an unexpected error died mysteriously due to a god's mistake. He had reincarnated into a fantasy world by exchanging all his memories with new powers as a summoner mage, and was accompanied by the reincarnation of a goddess and her servant named Melfina. Kelvin must hide his identity as a summoner because it is a very rare skill and will be the target of governments worldwide to be used as political power. Wanting to live freely, he manipulates his real identity and assumes the role of a low-caste green magician. However, the main character can easily complete missions with great difficulty, surprise everyone around him, even his intended target. As a battle junkie, Kelvin is obsessed with strong enemies, and when he defeats them, he makes a contract to become his follower. An advantage for both parties, like a supplied with summoner magic, subordinates gain statistic upgrades and have the potential to contract with increasingly powerful creatures. Follow this mysterious black-clad hero on the incredible and grand epic journey as he and his companions carve their names into history. My Isekai Life. A corporate slave was summoned into another world like a fantasy game after working himself to death in a hard business culture. Yuji Sano immediately realizes who he is as his monster tamer class allows him to befriend blue slimes. However, the slime had perfected the ability to assist him in acquiring so much magical wisdom that he had received a whole host of new skills along with the title of greatest sage the world had ever known. Yuji Sano wants to live a leisurely life, and it's better to hide his power to avoid being taken advantage of by others, because of his bad experience working as a hostile corporate environment. He had a powerful foundation for accurately identifying his fellow monsters. Yuji could anticipate imminent danger, even pretending to be weak when the enemy started stalking him. One of the drawbacks is that a very insecure man has big trust issues with people around him. Yuji has a skillful ability when combining various magical powers to create great damage during battle. As a monster tamer, he can coordinate well and understand each other, maximizing all the potential of the monsters he tames. The devil is a part-timer. The Demon King Satan with his troops wants to invade the land of End Isla and inches away from conquering the world. The brutal plan had to fail because it was stopped by the hero Emilia. Inevitably Satan had to retreat quickly but accidentally brought them to the human world. Together with his loyal generals, Satan is stranded in modern Japanese civilization, a world that has no magic power at all, different from their previous world. In Japan, they disguised their true identities to be Maho Shadow and Ishiya Shiro. Without magic power and no experience with real-world skills, in order to survive Maho Shadow had to work in a restaurant fast food as a waiter, while Ishiya was in charge of taking care of finances and finding out information about the world and how they could return to their original world. Emilia Justina, the hero, follows them through the portal and faces the same conditions. Although she still has vengeance towards Satan for his previous evil things, they were forced to work together, because of their connection in the world before and now brings them into conflict with the unpredictable, including dangerous situations. Death March to the Parallel World Rhapsody. If you're seeking an anime in which the protagonist is overpowered but acts weak and humble to help others, this might be the best anime recommendation for you. With nickname Sato, a computer programmer meant to be sleeping, found himself in his own game, where he was gifted fantastic powers. Having a memory of knowledge and taking advantage of the game's bugs, he inadvertently boosted his statistics and made him one of the world's most overpowered adventurers. Consequently, his level jumps from 0 to 310, it's also equivalent to a Demon King's power. With no way to return to his real world, he set out to investigate the secrets of this new world as a high-leveled adventurer. In the journey of finding a new purpose, he was made the best use what is available, like armed with a wide range of physical attack, his knowledge about the game, magical abilities, and ultimate weapons. He also earning the trust and affection of many people in the process while keeping his overpowered stats trying to hide. The Eminence in Shadow. Japanese boy obsessed with the power of shadow, and does various ways to achieve immortality, all of which have been completed after being reincarnated into the fantasy world with a new identity as Sid Kageno, also the founder and leader of the secret organization, Shadow Garden. His ultimate goal was to annihilate the Diablo's denomination and prevent them from resurrecting the ancient demons. His followers believe he is the brilliant mastermind whose success comes from his implausible amount of luck, improvisation, and superior combat. Sid Kageno is an accomplished actor who manages to portray himself as a public person. He is often obsessed with making himself a mafia character and seeming as mediocre at the same time. Giving up his strength for the power of pretending to be weak and tortured in front of his enemy, when intends to fulfill his unique ambition of being a mysterious warrior who is initially humiliated but eventually shocks everyone with his true abilities.